sounds like it's a good day for all. Welcome to Unity of Tucson. I'm Dr. Jonathan Zenz. I'm the senior minister here. Hi, Aaron.
Hi.
Great to see you as well.
Thank you.
Well, we're here to celebrate love. Does that sound like a good thing to do today?
Yeah.
All right, I invite you to move your body if you feel like you want to move your body, whatever way suits you best as we open this song. You got a light.
You got a light.
You got a light.
You got a light.
And it's shining out for everyone to see. You got a light.
You got a light.
You got a light.
You got a light.
And it's shining out for everyone to see. By some kind of miracle, now I feel that light in me. You got love.
You got love.
You got love.
You got love.
And it's shining. You got love.
You got love.
You got love.
You got love.
And it's shining out for everyone to see. By some kind of miracle, woo! Now I feel that love in me. You got a joy running through you now that just can't be denied. You got a spirit like a firecracker lighting up the sky. You got a power.
You got a power.
You got a power.
You got a power.
And it's shining out for everyone to see. You got a power.
You got a power.
You got a power.
You got a power.
And it's shining out for everyone to see. By some kind of miracle, now I feel that power in me. You feel the power? Woo! You got a joy running through you now that just can't be denied. You got a spirit like a firecracker lighting up the sky. You got a power.
You got a power.
You got a power.
You got a power.
And it's shining out for everyone to see. You got a power.
You got a power.
You got a power.
You got a power.
And it's shining out for everyone to see. By some kind of miracle, now I feel that power in me. I feel that power in me. I feel that power in me.
I feel that power in me.
I feel that power in me. Yeah! That is awesome. Yes, a good way to start the day. Welcome once again to Unity of Tucson. As I said before, I'm Dr. Jonathan Zenz. I'm the senior minister here, and I like to have a good time. I don't know about you. I like to sing, I like to move my body, and I like to bring that to a Sunday morning experience because my theory is that I think that this experience should be a I feel like this experience should be a fun experience. So I like to celebrate on a Sunday morning. Yeah, we now one of the things I do also offer every single week is the glasses came off, you see. Already. Actually, somebody was pointing out to me that so in this world of being on a platform, some of us use what we call a confidence monitor. And I don't usually like to point it out to you, but I do have a confidence monitor in the back that's a video screen that has my notes on it, right? And somebody said that since I moved my confidence monitor down, because it used to be up there, since I've moved it down, I take my glasses off a lot more. So, one of the things I say every single week is that you may not believe everything you hear today. And I actually think that that is a very good thing because part of what we teach here in the New Thought Movement is that it is done unto you as you believe. So my encouragement to you is to be on the exploration of what it is you believe, to start to uncover those hidden beliefs, those things that are below the level of awareness, because those, all of those and all the things we are aware of, they're all contributing to the outflow and expression of your life. And so if something does butt up against your belief system here today, just be willing to look at it and say, do I agree with that? Do I not agree with that? Would I like to agree with that? Do I want to reject it outright? And here's the good news. You get to decide, because I'm not here to tell you what to think, and I'm not here to tell you what to believe. My job in this venue is to offer the teaching, the tenets of New Thought, and how they are interpreted through unity, and to let you make the decision about how you would like to live your life. It's not often you hear that in a spiritual community, is it? No. But that's one of the most important aspects of how I choose to approach ministry. Now, we do have a vision and a mission here at Unity of Tucson, and I would love for us to state out loud collectively, first of all, these words of our vision statement. Let's say this together. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. Take a moment to see how that feels for you. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. What comes up for you? This is a rhetorical question. Just what comes up for you in feeling around that? Now, the vision is how we may choose to see the world, and the mission, I think, are active steps we can take to allow that vision to come into expression. So let us state out loud these words of our mission statement. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Can you see how through love only, forgiving everything, and remembering who you are, and by the way, that also means remembering who everyone in your life is as well, because if you remember who you are, then I believe it must be true for all people we encounter. Through love only, forgiving everything, and remembering who we are, do you see how we can be awakened to magnificence? I do. And that's my job. It's my job. I'm the one who gets to be optimistic and all the time. If you're joining us for the first time today, this is who I am. I can be a little off the wall. I'm hyper energetic, and yeah, like I said, it's because I like to have a good time. But I want to say a special welcome to you if you're joining us for the first time. Let me first acknowledge anyone who may be watching online for the first time today. Whether you're watching live on the Sunday morning or subsequently in a video archive at a later time, it is a delight to share this energy with you, to share this opportunity with you. And if you go to unitytucson.com/connect, you can fill out some information there and we can keep this conversation going. Now, if you're here with us, joining us in the room for the first time today, well, a couple of things first. As you were coming in, you may have been invited to receive a gift if this was your first time. And if you did not receive that gift, you can pick it up at the completion of the celebration today out in the lobby. But in addition to that physical gift, we want to share something with you. And if you are comfortable, and only if you're comfortable with identifying yourself as someone who's here for the first time, would you either raise your hand or stand up and so we can acknowledge and welcome you and say hello? Is there anyone? Welcome. Grateful to have you here. Welcome. And here's what it is we would like to share with you, shall we? Count of three. 1, 2, 3. You are magnificent. Yes, and your magnificence is a shining light that I'm so grateful that we get to share. And now we claim to know that about you because I think, this is my belief, you get to decide what you believe. My belief is that every single person I encounter is a reflection of something inherent within me. So as I choose to see the magnificence in all people, I think I am also choosing to understand it about myself. And I would love for us to take that to heart, each and every one of us, by stating out loud these words together, shall we? I am magnificent. How does that feel? You want to say it one more time? Let's do it again. Here we go. I am magnificent. Yeah, that feels good. Yes. We celebrate also all faith traditions here at Unity of Tucson, and one of the manners in which we do that is we've adopted a ceremony here called Lighting the Flames of Faith. It is guided so lovingly by our keepers of the flames every week, and here are this week's keepers of the flames to guide us in the ceremony, Laura Cass and my mother, Lynn Peterson.
Mom.
Actually, I want to say something real quick. Laura was asked this morning if she was my mother.
That's right.
And the truth is, I've adopted lots of mothers in my life, but this is my birth mother. But Laura is still a mother for me as well.
She is. I am. Yeah.
And then there's Mary.
And then there's Mary.
Mary is the other one. Yes.
Hi, Mary.
Yep.
And then you got Sherry down here as your sister,
Sherry can be my sister.
and Burl
Yeah.
as your sister.
Yeah.
You got all kinds of sisters.
I got a whole family here, and
Yeah,
I'm
whole
grateful.
family, and your dad.
All right, we should do the ceremony.
You
All
think
right,
so?
we're going to be very serious now, lighting the flames of faith. Oh.
He told me to be serious before we came up here this morning. Now look at him. Okay.
The problem is asking us to be serious.
Yes,
to
that's
begin
right.
with.
That's right. This is a problem.
Yes.
Well, I've been gone for a couple of weeks, and I have to tell you, I'm really, really so happy to be back, even though I was off having a great experience. I went to a women's retreat at Unity of Prescott. But I read that Jonathan's message today is claiming kindness. And Joyce Holly, who is not here today, gave me this shirt some time ago, and it says scattering kindness. And so she has a shirt, the same shirt. And so I sent her a message last night. I said, wear your shirt tomorrow. And so she answered me. She's wearing her shirt today, but she's driving somewhere, and she's on the road to Branson, Missouri. So anyway, so we're scattering kindness all over. We are truly doing that. So that's good, isn't it? And I like that it's purple because even though it's a little behind, it's still International Day of the Woman. So there you go. And we're inclusive here, remember. Okay. Ready to go, Mom?
Anytime.
All right.
You too, Mom.
Okay. We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to divine love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the Spirit and the space that we are holding for them, and for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony. The final candle is the healing candle. It represents the revealing of the divinity at the core of all experience. This is your candle for whatever is in your mind and heart that requires the light.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. If you're new to our community, you may have noticed this candle, which we keep consistently illuminated. It is the peace candle. And its consistent illumination, we hold, is a reflection of the consistent illumination of peace in our own hearts. And as we individually allow our inner peace to inform our thoughts, our intentions, our deeds, our actions, all aspects of our beingness, then right where we are each and every one of us a light of peace, and we shine that light all over the world. And so let's honor that understanding. Let's honor the practice of peace by stating out loud together this prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace reigns in the world. Each week it is a delight to share the stage with one of our glorious prayer chaplains. We have a magnificent core of prayer chaplains here who are all in service, in prayerful service to this community. And each week I invite one of them to join us to offer a reading, to guide us in the monthly affirmation and also to guide us in prayer. Here to do that is one of today's prayer chaplains. Please welcome Sandy Solomon.
Thank you. Good morning. Yes, all you magnificent ones out there. Oh my goodness, it's so wonderful to see all of you. So what is our theme for this month? Genius. People are kind of going, it's kind of the beginning of the month, not really sure. Genius. And when I hear of genius, I think of divine mind. It's one of the names or synonyms of God that we use. Divine mind. And I want to open up this sharing time with you in reading from Charles Fillmore, The Revealing Word. And he says, he gives a definition for mind. That's a capital M when we see it this way. Humans in the consciousness of the one mind have no sense of apartness. Through affirmation, they can attune themselves to being, transmute their thought into ideas, and accomplish the seemingly impossible. That just opens up the whole world of infinite possibility. And so I would like to share something that I have written that I keep on my desk at all times. But before I read that to you, I want to explain how much that means to me in my heart. And it came from an experience that I had when I was in the second grade. At the beginning of second grade, the teacher assessed the class and put the smartest child in the first desk on the first row. Okay? And I sat there as each child got placed, and I was placed on the last row, next to the last seat. Okay? So now, and we've all had experiences like that. We have all had experiences where people have made us less than. Whatever that experience has been. And it's not about having the experience, it's what we do with it that really counts. And so as a very young person, actually, as I was moving through school, I realized the power of forgiveness, forgiving that teacher. She was doing the best job she could. I held that little girl in such love for her sitting there all year long. But more than anything else, it opened me up to knowing my divinity, knowing divine mind. And as I opened and aligned myself with that mind, as Charles says, I can do the seemingly impossible. It's not because I'm more intelligent or less. This is the truth for each of us all the time. So every now and then that little story comes up, oh, you're just not quite as smart as everybody else. And every time it does, I mean it with the same thing. I am the expression of divine mind. So I had this that I wrote on my desk, and I keep it there all the time. It starts out with, I am divine intelligence. I can accept my limiting stories and use those as my excuse to stay stuck. Or, and that's O-R, big, I become still. I go within. I know I am divine mind. I allow divine ideas to flow through and as me now. I accomplish my task with ease and grace. I accomplish the impossible. I am divine mind in action. And that is the truth for each one of us. Amen. All right, so are you ready to start working with our affirmation? Yes, let's do that. All right. So this affirmation, I'm going to say it first, and then I'm going to invite us to say it 2 times together. When I attune to the infinite mind, which is my mind, I express genius. You ready to say that with me? All right, let's do it. Together. When I attune to the infinite mind, which is my mind, I express genius. Let's do that again. Again. When I attune to the infinite mind, which is my mind, I express genius. And now,
prepare ourselves for the practice of prayer. I invite us all to relax right where we are. And I want to acknowledge you stated, I am divine mind, as part of your practice. And as we sing this segment of Psalm 46:10, it says, be still and know that I am God. God and divine mind are one and the same. So as you understand it, allow yourself to experience it.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know.
and in this moment, we become still. We go within and we say yes to our divinity. That divinity of love, the divinity of compassion, of divine mind. We are that divinity. We are God. And so it is. Amen.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still and know.
So it is. Thank you, Sandy. There's a song that is very dear to my heart that I like to bring, once in a while to the Sunday morning experience. It was written by David Friedman, who is a prolific songwriter and a member of Unity of New York. And this particular song, haven't sung it in a couple years. And in fact, the last time I sang it, Linda wasn't here. Yeah, she was. You took a very well-deserved vacation that day. I think you'll understand why I love this song.
So many things we can't control, so many things that happen every day. So many heartaches that pierce the soul, so much pain that won't ever go away. How do we make it better? How do we make it through? What can we do when there's nothing we can do? We can be kind, we can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. Nobody really wants to fight. Nobody really wants to go to war. Everyone wants to make things right. So what are we always fighting for? Does nobody want to see it? Does nobody understand? The power to heal is right here in your hand. We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. And it's not enough to talk about it. It's not enough to sing a song. We must walk the walk about it. You and I, do or die. We've got to try to get along. We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. And maybe we'll find true peace of mind if we always remember we can be kind.
Thank you. Thank you. Ah, yes, sprinkle or scatter kindness. That's what today is all about. Yeah. There's something that I wanted to do a little differently today as I begin my message, my Sunday message. And that is, I would like to introduce you to New Thought. Could not have planned that if I tried. Yeah. So, Unity as a movement is under an umbrella of philosophical ideas that have been collected together. And they call it New Thought, and there are different branches of organizations that teach New Thought. Unity is one among a few. And I think it's important sometimes that we remind ourselves of just who we might claim to be, who we might claim ourselves to be here in this New Thought community called Unity of Tucson. And I always like to, I say it's a joke, but it's not a joke. There is a tome, and I know every time I mention a book, oftentimes people go, oh, I got to go get that book. I'm going to go see if they have it in the bookstore. What I can tell you, we don't have this book in the bookstore. It is out of print, so it's very difficult to get, although I do have a copy. But it was a scholarly, I think it was somebody's dissertation, actually. I think that's actually how it began. I'm not entirely sure. But it is the history of New Thought. And when I say it's a tome, I mean it is a tome. It is like 800 pages long. And it's called Spirits in Rebellion. The title itself should give you some idea as to who we are as a philosophical community. Spirits in Rebellion. On the very first page of the very first chapter that is called What is New Thought? This is how it is in part offered. New Thought is a wide range of philosophical, theological, psychological, and practical approaches to God, to the world, to life, and its problems that had its development within the last 150 years, chiefly in the United States of America. So Unity is part of this philosophical, theological, psychological, and practical approach to God, to the world, to life. I would adjust this and say, and our perception of problems, because I think that we have also evolved, and that New Thought had its development within the last 150 years. We are a very young movement, theological movement, philosophical movement, psychological movement. And you can see how it all coalesced to become what it is in its expression today. And the challenge is its expression today is in a continued state of evolution. And trust me, when you have a movement that is rooted in the construct of rebellion, we're all rebels. We're all rebels. I don't know what that was. We are all rebels. And all the aspects of the New Thought movement and all the different organizations and all the ministers were all kind of in this rebellious nature, right? And I love that. I love that. We are not a monolith. And I would never want to be part of a monolith. Really. We are, each and every one of us, everyone who is involved in the New Thought movement, in fact, everyone in the world, whether they know it or not. And every organization is an individualized expression of the infinite creative source. When we talk about, I am divine mind, we are divine mind. We are the outflow of this magnificent divine mind that we call God. We choose to call it God because we don't teach that God is something out there. We teach that God is the creative source right here where each and every one of us is. That was a rebellious thing to say 150 years ago. That's why we are spirits in rebellion. It still is. It still is. The Metaphysical Club of Boston was one of the first New Thought organizations, and they also attempted to define New Thought. And they said that their purpose in New Thought was this: to promote interest in and the practice of a true philosophy of life and happiness, to show that one's loftiest ideals may be brought into present realization. That was their purpose. Their purpose was not to teach sin. Their purpose was not to teach fear. Their purpose was not to teach us that we are less than in any manner. In fact, their purpose was to enlighten each and every one of us to the understanding that we are, each and every one of us, the incarnation of the Most High. And that from that point of view, we are endowed with the opportunity to live a life of happiness and joy. Why would we ever choose to live anything other than that? And so that's why I bring lots of happiness and joy and dancing and music and fun and entertainment to the Sunday morning experience. And I'm a little bit of a rebel in that sense, because you go to another Unity church, you're not going to get this necessarily. I mean, some do, but there are some Unity, and this is not here's the thing, you find what you are attracted to and what works for you, because there are some Unity ministers who would stand very much at the lectern, and they would give their Sunday message very much like this. And it would be very much a snooze fest for me personally. That's just my own approach. That's just who I am. And like I said, it is for those for whom that works, awesome. I don't want to change anybody. I want everyone to find what works for them. But my desire is to bring happiness and joy to the experience, because that, I think, is fundamentally what many of us are seeking in our lives. And we start to look around at the circumstances of our lives, and it feels very daunting, doesn't it? I'll tell you, I watched the State of the Union. And I'm not getting political. I want to be very clear. I'm not saying that there's a side in any regard. But I watch the State of the Union. I watch everything that's around the State of the Union. I watch the news coverage. I watch all of that, right? And it could be very easy to get myself wrapped up in the idea that any of that is truth. It is only as true as I decide for it to be in my life. That's how I approach the interaction I have with what's happening in the world. It is only as true as I decide for it to be in my life. And I can look at all the same circumstances from different angles, and I can look at the circumstances from over here and say, gosh, life is really awful. But then I might be over here, and I might be looking at the same circumstances, and might be going, wow, life is really awesome. And I think that's how we are tending to look at each other right now. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. One of the things that is very important to me about the New Thought philosophy is, and it exists in those definitions that I offered, it is very important to me that it be a practical philosophy, that there's practicality within its application. That is not just some airy-fairy, pie-in-the-sky idea. It's not just theory. It is something that we can actively put to use in our lives. Practicality is so important. So in that first definition, it says it is a practical approach to God, the world, to life. And in the Metaphysical Club of Boston, it says it is a practice of true philosophy. Now, true is a bit of you get to decide what's true. I hold firm in my own faith that the New Thought philosophy works for me. So for right now, it's true. One of the founders of one of the New Thought branches, Ernest Holmes, offered this. He said, one of the great difficulties in the order of thought is that we are too likely to indulge in theory and too little practice. I messed that up. I'm going to say it again. It was close. One of the great difficulties in the order of thought is that we are likely to indulge in too much theory and too little practice. That's the actual quote. I want us to practice this. I want us to really chew into it and actually use it in our lives. Often we are encouraged, you ready? We're often encouraged to keep our vibration high, right? Keep our vibration high. But here's the aspect that I don't like about that, is that if our high vibration does not lead to action, then nothing is created. This is a movement of spirit, of God, of source energy, of divine mind, of us. And it is a movement, literally. It is an invitation for us to be a movement in the world, if you decide for it to be, for yourself. Because as I say every single Sunday, I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm here to offer the teaching. And that is the teaching, that there is a practicality at the core of it, that is an invitation for us to live our lives according to the principle of being divine mind, of being God's source energy, of being spirit, of being the I am that I am. And as we adopt that frame of mind, that what flows forth in experience can only be good, can only be happiness, and can only be joyful. Part of the practice of this philosophical theology is the active aspect of changing your life if you so choose. If you've come to New Thought today, you've come on purpose, whether you know it or not. Even if somebody dragged you here. Hey, you got to go to my church. You got to hear this guy. He's really, really energetic. There's a purpose within you, though, I think, that drew you to this place at this time. And it may be below the level of your awareness. And this may be all that you experience today. And that's okay, too. But there is something in this for you to hear. I think that there's a kernel of an idea that is going to resonate with every single person here. And it's not going to be the same idea. It's not going to be the same kernel of truth. It's going to be individualized for each and every one of you. And if you are willing to let that kernel, that seed, blossom and grow within you, I believe that you can change your life for the better. And if you think, gosh, my life is already really awesome, it can get better. Because we live in an infinite expression of betterness. We live in an infinite expression of possibility to say, yes, it can grow and thrive and even get better. More and more better. I want more better. If we want, and here's the thing, if we want healing in the world's affairs, that healing unfolds via our own action, not assuming that a politician is going to do it for us, not assuming that a theologian is going to do it for us, not assuming that anybody else is going to do it for us. It is up to us if we want healing, to allow that healing to be expressed via our action. If we want change in our personal lives, that change unfolds via action. Action heals, and inaction can cause festering, stagnation, devolution. Is there a word that I'm missing there? I'm like, what is the opposite of evolution? Devolution. Yeah. That works, yeah. Action is what we are all called to be. Notice I didn't say called to do. We are called to be the action of God in form. The nature of spirit as us is expressed through our circumstances. Our work is to consciously and conscientiously address the circumstances. It all starts in mind. But if it doesn't lead to action in the world of form, then our mental work is fruitless. Who do you think offered that quote? It was me. Sometimes I find things that I've written in the past and I go ahead, I'll just go ahead and quote myself. Why not? The nature of spirit as us is expressed through our circumstances. Everything in our life is the nature of spirit expressed through us. Our work is to consciously and conscientiously address the circumstances. And here's the key. It all starts in mind, but if that mental action doesn't lead to action in the world of form, then our mental work is fruitless. Doesn't matter what we think. If it does not express itself in form, then we can go around thinking, oh, it's a lovely day, and it's high vibes, and we're going to... But if it is not expressing in your life, then it is a fruitless idea in mind. How will you put this to work? That's my question. How will you make it practical in your life? I believe in the power of prayer. Prayer as a mental activity to allow the forthcoming of action in the world. If the prayer does not reveal itself in activity at the conclusion of the prayer, then the prayer has not truly been answered. I believe the impulse to personal action is the entire point of praying. I want you to really hear that. I believe that the impulse to personal action is the point of prayer. Prayer is not a magical incantation where we step back and go, God is all there is, and I am that power and presence, and all is well, and this is going to unfold perfectly in my life, and I'm so grateful for it, and so it is. Well, why didn't it happen? Well, because it is meant to be an impulse of action within you to create your life according to the prayer. Prayer, powerful prayer impels action. Powerful prayer impels action. My desire in my own spiritual inworking is to welcome an outworking, an impulse into action in my life. Absent that, my spiritual work doesn't matter. If it is not leading me in the direction of action in my life, it doesn't matter. And so, a practice that I have taken to heart in my life is to live my life asking this question: what can I do? As a replacement for what often comes up and what I've been taught in my culture is a more appropriate question, which it's not, which is, oh, I can't do that. What can I do? What is possible? What is possible? In the song, there's a lyric right at the beginning of the song, and it's the question of the song. How do we make it better? How do we make life better? How do we make it better? How do we make it through? What can we do when there's nothing we can do? You ever find yourself in a situation where you feel like everything is really challenging and I don't really know what to do? Perhaps a friend of yours, a relationship of yours is having a challenging experience. What can I do? I don't know. We can be kind. That is an action that I think is necessary in this world more than we're experiencing it now. In the Unity World Headquarters prayer service this month, the affirmations that have been offered, and there's a monthly prayer service text that goes out, and it starts with affirmations and then does the reading, and we engage in that prayer service every Wednesday afternoon here. If you'd like to join us, it's at 12:30 in the prayer room. The affirmations this month all start with these two words: I claim. I claim. And the affirmations are essentially, I claim divine peace. I claim divine wisdom. I claim divine will. I claim divine strength. I claim divine love. And so much spiritual work, and those affirmations themselves are focused within, right? It's like, I claim divine peace within myself. I claim divine wisdom within myself. I claim divine will within myself. I claim divine strength within myself. I claim divine love within myself. And that's a starting point. Because as we claim peace, wisdom, will, strength, and love, which are some of the 12 powers, by the way, as we claim those things, how will they then be activated in expression in our lives? So I think we must take it a step further. What if we make an outer claim? And that's why today is called Claiming Kindness, because I want to be kind both to myself and to every single person I encounter. What a spiritual practice that is. And I can be challenged in that. Can you? Kindness can be a decided approach in all interaction. I was in the Dallas airport a few years ago. Anyone go to the Dallas airport? I find that airport challenging. And I was on an international flight that came in and landed in one terminal. And of course, the domestic flight that I had to leave from was in that terminal that was across the parking lot. And so the only way to get there was to take, they've got that train, to take the train. And it is the longest train ride ever. And so our flight, I was coming back from the Dominican Republic. Our flight was delayed, as happens sometimes. I don't usually get too bent out of shape about delayed flights, but I knew that we were catching the last flight from Dallas to Tucson, and that if we didn't get to Dallas in time to catch our flight, well, then we were definitely there overnight. And so I'm on the flight, and we come in for a landing. I'm like, oh, our flight's supposed to leave in like 10 minutes, and I don't know. And so me and my husband, we grab our carry-on, and we go running off the plane, and we get onto and go on the train. We're like, finally get to the terminal, and literally we were walking up to the gate as we're watching the plane pull away. It would be very easy, right, to go into, how dare you let that flight go without us, gate agent who has nothing to do with it. That would have been me at one point in my life. I have changed since then. And I went to the gate agent who was there and I said, you know what, is there anything that we can work out to ensure our comfort this evening? Because my husband and I would not like to sleep in the terminal, if that's possible. And she looked at us, and even though it was not a requirement of that particular airline's policies, she said, yeah, I'll get you a hotel voucher. Just because I was kind. And I think that comes down to this idea. In every interaction, are we approaching our relationship with the person across from us as an ally or an enemy? If I remember who I am, the third part of our mission statement, remember who you are. If I remember who I am, then all I will ever choose to experience are allies. Allyship is a byproduct of that first part of the mission statement. Love only. Love only. And while I may not agree with some people's behavior, their behavior is not an indicator of the truth of their being. And my decision is to engage in every interaction from the point of love and kindness. In John 13:34, Jesus offered this commandment, the only commandment he ever offered. He said, "A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you are also to love one another." It's the only commandment, love. Love and a consciousness of love allows the outflow of kindness. And we begin to understand and see everyone as our ally. This, to me, is the practical side of the New Thought philosophy, psychology, theology, however you choose to understand it. This, to me, is the most important part of the practice. And so my encouragement is for all of us to truly and consistently claim kindness and love as our true identity. Peace and blessings. You are magnificent. If you are new to our community, and I always try to catch the eyes of people who are new, I offer homework every week, and the homework that I offer is a way to make the philosophy practical. To say, here's what I talked about today, here's a way in which you may choose to put it into practice. I do want to acknowledge that I intended to, and I forgot, to put the homework up here, because I have had a request that I have the written homework come up on the projection. I will start that next week. If you are not able to write it all out today, you can find it on our website under the video archives. Here's the homework today. Actively review the aspects in your life where perhaps love and kindness are secondary to something else. That is, to be on high alert for what your impulse is. Are you reacting from fear, or are you proactive from the point of view of love and kindness? Any place where you might find that reaction in fear, choose to be active in reframing in that moment to love and kindness. Not just in interactions with other people, but also with yourself. Be loving and kind with yourself. That's the homework. I'm going to invite us all to relax right where we are. And if there is a kernel of an idea, some truth, something that has welled up within you in response to what has been offered here today, I invite you to let that be present in your heart. Let it be present in your beingness. As we relax into this moment of reflection, just an allowing.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release. As my heart opens up to the voice, I awake to these precious moments when I hear all that could ever be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself. I invite you into an opportunity to engage in prayer with me. For I find God in all things, and I am included in all things, so I find God in myself. I choose to understand that God is the only power, the only creative source. I choose to understand that this magnificence is letting itself unfold as all creation. And this is who and what each and every one of us is. Our divine identity is just that, divine. For the core of our beingness is God. The wholeness of our expression is God. There is no aspect of us that is not God. There is no place where God begins or God ends. It is all God. And so I know that being immersed in, swimming in a sea of divine mind, and being part of the infinite sea of divine mind, being a wave in that magnificent ocean, I trust and know that all that unfolds from this point forth is rooted in love and kindness. For this is a decision I have made in this moment. And every interaction, I choose to be an interaction of love, knowing love. The expression of love, recognizing the expression of love, and knowing that it is something deeper than the behavior that we engage in, that it is the core of our beingness. And so with gratitude and appreciation overflowing from within, I simply let it be. I relax, I trust, I know, and I welcome the outflow of this good. And I affirm it by saying, and so it is. Amen. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release. As my heart opens up to the voice, I awake to these precious moments when I hear all that could ever be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God. Oh, I find God.
Thank you. Taking that breath. I would like to welcome to the platform here to guide us in our offering today, magnificent being of light, someone who chooses and expresses kindness in every interaction I have with her, and for that I am deeply grateful. This is Emila de Toro.
Thank you. Good morning. Right, this is one of my favorite topics. I imagine many of you are familiar with Brené Brown at this point. She makes the rounds of Unity, right? Yes, she does. And her, one of her most recent books, Dare to Lead, one of her key pieces is clear is kind, unclear is unkind. And I just love that idea as someone who used to experience kindness as excluding myself, right? In order to be kind, we need to know what works for us, what our needs are, in order to be able to offer kindness to other people. So this is one of my favorite topics. Anyway, so I'm saying that in part because this is my last month here facilitating the offering, and I have adored doing this. It has been very lovely, and my needs have changed. So I am offering for somebody else to have the opportunity to come up here. And of course, William will sort all that out. But I don't need to do that. But it's just a very peaceful feeling to know our needs, just like you did with the person in the airport. You needed a comfortable place to spend the night. And just ask for that to be met. And that's what I'm asking today for the offering. Gosh, our physical campus, our whole community has needs, and some of them are financial. And we would love for you to connect with your clarity, and in that clarity, make your offering and how you might support this lovely community of kindness. And you can do that in multiple ways. We have the QR code. You can text Unity Tucson to that number up there. You can give on a regular basis, create an automatic payment like I do, and just toss some extra cash in the bucket. So please join us in creating that community of kindness. Thank you.
Thank you, Emila. As the baskets go around, feel free to move your body as we sing our celebration song.
Celebrate my abundance today. By giving this gift, I show my faith. As I open my heart, my world becomes a better place. I release all fear as I share gratefully. This love that I give always gives back to me. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself. My heart, my world becomes a better place. I release all fear as I share gratefully. This love that I give always gives back to me. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself.
Break it down.
I celebrate my abundance today. By giving this gift, I show my faith. As I open my heart, my world becomes a better place. Yes, it does. I release all fear as I share gratefully. This love that I give always gives back to me. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself. Knowing my oneness with I know that all that I give to
Yes, indeed. Sherry Hoffman, one of our magnificent prayer chaplains, is going to guide us in the blessing of the offering.
Let us rub our hands together and get all that extra good energy and shout it out to those baskets and say together, we bless these gifts and we share these gifts. We're out and blessing our community and the world. And so it is. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, thank
You're
you, thank you,
welcome.
Sherry. Here's what's happening at Unity of Tucson.
It's Sunday, March 10th, 2024, and here's what's happening at Unity of Tucson. On Saturday, April 19th, plan on attending Unity of Tucson's Shine, a Feelin' Good concert served with decadent desserts. Join Aaron Anderson, Liz Cracchiolo, Dennis Tamlin, and Dr. Jonathan Zenz as we celebrate the power of our individual radiance through music. This event is a musical invitation to embrace your inner light and let it shine brightly. Following the concert, stay to mingle with the cast while enjoying decadent desserts in Harmony Hall. Get your tickets now in the Desert Light Bookstore or online at unitytucson.com. Have you ever considered that one of your highest spiritual paths might be your relationship to others? Join Waverly Farrell and Vicki Doolittle for an exploration of the spiritual aspects of relationship. This 5-week course starts Saturday, May 4th at 2 p.m. Sign up now in the Desert Light Bookstore or contact Waverly Farrell to reserve your spot. Explore the intricate workings of creativity with the creative process in the individual. This class will delve into the writings of Thomas Troward, one of the most significant voices in the development of New Thought. Learn to harness your innate creativity to manifest your desires and shape your reality. This 8-week course starts Thursday, March 28th at 6 p.m. Sign up now in the Desert Light Bookstore or online at unitytucson.com. Coming up this Wednesday at 6 p.m., Unity of Tucson will be hosting Awakening the Heart, a satsang experience presented by traveling monk Brian Lotman. Join us for a blissful sound bath of musical chanting. This event is being offered on a suggested $30 donation basis. Join us Wednesday, March 20th for Soul Flow, a night of gentle yoga followed by expressive free-form dance. Oscar Rodriguez and Sherry Hoffman guide you through the practice beginning at 6 p.m. Soul Flow is offered on a suggested $10 love offering basis. Unity of Tucson would like to welcome our newest guest artist, Peggy Marlatt, to Unity of Tucson's Galleria Sagrada. Peggy's work as an oil and pastel painter spans decades, with shows throughout Arizona and Utah. Come view her beautiful paintings today in the foyer. The Rainbow Lunch Bunch, a monthly gathering of spiritually minded members of the LGBTQIA+ community and allies, meets in the Rainbow Room today following Sunday service. Bring your lunch and join the Rainbow Lunch Bunch for camaraderie and fun. Also today, there will be a meeting for anyone interested in assisting with our upcoming spring concert, Shine. This will be an opportunity to make new friends while helping to bring a fun and festive concert to Unity of Tucson. Please see Karen Ives in room 4 of the Annex building today following Sunday service for more information. You can find out more about all of our events, classes, and other ways to get involved in our spiritual community by visiting the Desert Light Book and Gift Store or online at unitytucson.com. Have an amazing and magnificent week.
Thank you so much. There's another thing that I would like to do, and that is, first of all, I would like Karen Ives to stand up. Would you stand up, Karen? This is Karen Ives. She magnificently guided a glorious team of volunteers in our annual yard sale this past weekend, this past Saturday, Friday and Saturday. And anyone who was involved in that as a volunteer for the yard sale, would you please stand up so that we can share some love with you for the blessings that you brought to this community in your service. So deeply grateful. You are a blessing in my life and in this community's life. So thank you so much for all that you have done in support of Unity of Tucson. I am delighted to tell you that our yard sale, I have to do math real quick, because I got another $10 today. So the yard sale was a magnificent success. It brought in a net profit of $4,432.25. And that, of course, is all in support of who we are and what we do and how we thrive here as a spiritual community. Thank you all so much. And speaking of thank yous, I want to say thank you to everybody who made today's celebration a glorious experience. I think it's a glorious experience, a magnificent, joyful experience every single Sunday, and every single person who participates is a part of that. I want to say thank you to my moms, Lynn and Laura, for guiding us in lighting the flames of faith today. Thank you so much. Guiding us in meditation at 9:30 before the celebration, and also in the offering today, the blessing of the offering, our prayer chaplain, Sherry Hoffman. Thank you so much. Sandy Solomon, thank you so much for your reading, your affirmation, and for the prayer. Blessings to you. Thank you so much. Sherry and Sandy will be available here in the sanctuary if you would like a moment of prayer with them. They will hang out here, and if you are seeking prayer for something that's unfolding in your life, just know that as you seek them out, your intention to seek them out first and foremost is the beginning of the path to healing. There is also an opportunity to engage in prayer in this community by writing out a prayer request form and put the prayer intention into the prayer intention box in the foyer. You can also send an email to prayer@unitytucson.com and invite prayer into your life in that manner as well. So thank you so much for your service. I want to say thank you to Emila for this past year and more of being a guiding light in our sharing every week. Thank you so much. And being a guiding light in this community. Thank you. Our hospitality team led by Mark Penterman, I am so deeply grateful to you and for everyone who participates in hospitality every single week. Do please join us for coffee and goodies after the celebration today. I want to say thank you to our greeters and our ushers and our technical team. Let's give it up for Don and Jim and Rowan and Kyle back there. Our glorious, magnificent music team, Linda and Raphael and Paul and Aaron. And I especially want to say thank you to each and every one of you for being here. As I say, not just here at Unity of Tucson, but thank you for making your magnificence known in this thing called life. You are a blessing to me, and I will never take that for granted. I am so grateful to you for being part of my life. Blessings to you.
And thank you to you.
Well, thank you, Beryl. Thank you. Well, we're going to wrap up today by sharing this prayer of divine awareness, which will lead us right into our final song. Let's say these words together. I am infinite light. I am infinite love. I am infinite power. I am infinite presence. Wherever God is, I am. Wherever I am, God is. And so it is. Amen. All right. Dance, move your body, whatever suits you.
The word has been spoken, the songs have been sung, our hearts have been opened, together as one. Center of creation, we are divine congregation. We are no separation. We are here we stand, the power of one hand in hand. We shine like the sun, here we stand, together as one family. Here we stand. Take it away, Aaron.
The truth has been spoken, the message received. Our hearts have been open to what we believe.
Center of creation, we are divine revelation. We are no separation. We are here we stand, the power of one hand in hand. We shine like the sun, here we stand, together as one family. Here we stand, here we stand, here we stand, here we stand. everyone.